Hi, welcome back. It's me again for part 2 of meditation discussion that we're having. I just couldn't get it off my mind. The meditation issues and things I want to make sure that I share with you. So this is part 2, and I'm just going to pick right up, and we're talking about 15 minutes per day, or ideally per day, ideally twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. There are times in nature that are very quiet, and it seems like those times are the most conducive to certain meditation practices. Now, if the only time you can get 15 minutes is on your lunch break, sitting on a park bench with pigeons at your feet, then do it then. Absolutely. Just do what you can fit in. Trying to find time to meditate should not be stressful. And the meditation itself should not be stressful. And I'm using the word should, which I hardly ever do, but I just want you to know that it can be easy, the meditation practice. And it will take some training. You'll have to be disciplined, I think, at first. And then things do fall together nicely at some point. What is great about the type of rest that happens during meditation, and it happens no matter what type of meditation you're doing, whether it's mantra or guided, self-guided, or just silent, the type and amount of rest that the mind gets during meditation is cumulative. So that means the one you do on Tuesday is built upon the one you do on Wednesday, and so on and so forth. So that's very exciting to me. So you don't have to, when you sit down for 15 minutes of meditation, there's no way you're going to get 15 minutes of, say, what I would call a peak meditative experience. You might be one of those rare people. Let's just assume you are, actually. But, for real, if you get a couple minutes here and there, that's doing really good. And that's how busy our minds have become, It's nobody's fault. It's just we choose lives that keep our minds out of balance and very busy, spinning. So in the back to the cumulative part of the meditations, cumulatively, and this is astounding, 20 minutes of meditation, having that gap experience, or as close as you can get to it, right? 20 accumulated minutes is equivalent to 4 hours of additional sleep. Isn't that amazing? That's just amazing. And the studies, that I read about, and what goes on in the physiology during meditation, and just what it does for people's outlooks and attitudes, and it's very moving to me that something so simple and something that is so good for us isn't made more available for the working people. There could be meditation breaks, or you should be able to go into a room, close the door, meditation in progress. Shh. I worked at a clinic once where it was like that. The door was closed and it said, "Silence, please." And to me, that's just astounding. 20 minutes of meditation, accumulative. So again, it might take a week. It might take a couple weeks to get 20 minutes. It might take a month. But can you imagine, like, at the end of every month, if you had 4 more hours of sleep? That's equivalent to an hour a week. Or if you're one of those people who gets the meditation really easy, it could be 4 hours, like every couple weeks. 4 hours more of rest, of sleep energy, rejuvenation energy. That I just love that so much. I just had to do this part 2 just to tell you that part. I want to talk about mantras for a second. Like I said, that a mantra, the word mantra just translates to tool, Tool, and it's just a tool for the mind. It gives the mind something to focus on that's different than the random thoughts. So instead of letting your mind go wild with, the cat has kidney stones, or the dog needs to be spayed, or who knows what, just random thoughts, you actually have a word or a sound. Actually, all words are sounds, but I'll get to that in a second. You actually have a word that you will focus the mind on, so that instead of spewing random thoughts, it slows down the random thoughts to make room for the one that you want it to focus on. Does that make sense? Common mantras are Om, O-M, Aum, A-U-M, Nama, N-A-M-A-H, and there are a bunch of, what do I want to call them, like universal tones. Again, back to the sound. And that's where mantras come from. Basically, it's like the sound in the silence. It's a pure vibration. So, without getting too deep into that conversation, so let's just try for a second, because you wouldn't be speaking the mantra out loud. It would only be rattling in your brain for a purpose. So it's important that you're comfortable with the sounds. And if you go to, say, a meditation retreat center, and they are few and far between, you might get assigned a mantra just for you, like the one that I have is just for me, and it has to do with where and when I was born and what universal tones were in the universe at that time. So you can get one of those, but I just want to go through a couple of the mantras and make sure that, if they sound silly, feel free to laugh, and if they don't, feel free not to, because it's all okay. Om. And as I let it rest, let the vibration rest inside my head, it's vibrating my teeth. So let's try Aum. Aum. Good. That's so good. Do you want to do it with me? 1 Om and 1 Aum. Okay? Just natural pace of breathing. Okay? Om. Om. Good. And Aum. Aum. Cool. And again, it's your natural pace of breathing. You're not trying to outdo anybody or, race to the finish line. In fact, the slower you go, the more the vibration can sort of rest inside your body, and you can really get a feel for it. Didn't think I'd be doing that today, but had to follow the energy. The difference between, I'm also, in addition to having a degree in Ayurveda and being a meditation teacher since '97, I also, before I got to study meditation, I was also certified as a hypnotherapist. And I recognize that a lot of meditation is in fact very similar, if not the same, as hypnotherapy. Now, who cares? As long as you're getting the benefits, I don't care what it's called. But I just wanted to throw that out there. And not to promote or diss hypnotherapy, but I would really like to keep the meditation practice as pure as possible. So I kind of feel like the hypnotherapies have a lifespan, because once you become good, once you become very comfortable with your meditations and, mantras or no mantras or what have you, your need for a facilitator may drop by the wayside. And I think that might be, the ultimate goal. If there were a goal to meditation, maybe that would be it, is that we are like self-sourced and self-sufficient, because everything we need for meditation is right here all the time. Cool. The next time we talk, depending on the feedback I get from this meditation part 2, the next time we talk, I have a plan to start talking about foods for each mind-body constitution, and seasons, because there are seasons where the doshas become out of balance, and you can't really help it because you can't control the weather. And that'll be fun too. I can't wait to start talking about food. As a kapha person, it's like one of my favorite topics. All right, thank you so much for tuning in again, and I'll see you back here